Welcome everyone to Confident Consultations, the power of profitable conversations. And that's what we're all about here tonight, is to really fine tune and connect to how to really build deep rapport that converts to a highly successful, sustainable and simplified business. So let's get cracking straight into it. The whole point of this tonight is that I wanted to actually do obviously me speaking through having a confident consultation, but also to share with you my notes, just so you can actually get to see what is possible, because not everyone's so audible. They like to read as well. So there's different learning styles. So I really wanted to go through the power of profitable conversations, whether you're here live or watching the replay. And I'm really genuinely grateful that you're here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else tonight. I'm so excited. I've been planning this for months, in the sense of really getting the most current, up-to-date information that makes it more relevant for you all here tonight and people watching the replay. We've got a lot to get through, so my intention is to make this one of the most valuable trainings you've ever attended, and what I'm sharing with you will help you create more clarity, more confidence and more cash flow, whether you're just starting out, scaling, even growing your business a little bit further than you are now, or even dreaming bigger. Some of us are visionaries and have big roles to play in the industry, and we want to go to the next step. And if you have any questions at all, please just drop them in the chat and I'll be answering them throughout the night. Or if you want anything broken down, pop them in the chat and I'll be watching throughout. And Jess here, as I've introduced Jess as our support for the night. So if I'm missing something at all, Jess will jump in and help us all out. I think we can all see the screen, which is great. So let's dive in. Before we begin, if you're not following me here at Beauty Business Evolution on Insta, that's my handle. Follow me here for more growth strategies, because I'm always posting every day about how you can grow your business in a more simplified, sustainable and easeful way. So I'm at Beauty Business Evolution. Follow me here at Instagram. And tonight I'm giving away fantastic prizes just for showing up live and interacting. So the people that interact the most are going to go into the draw to win one of 2 private coaching calls with me valued at $590 and 1 full business assessment valued at $497. And winners will be announced next Tuesday, because I just want to allow people to watch the replay. So let's get cracking. And tonight I'm sharing the exact method that helped me scale to consistent 10K weeks, take 2 weeks off every month, build a wildly profitable business while doing what I love. And I also live in one of the most beautiful little places in New South Wales, a little town called Bellingen under Coffs Harbour in Australia. I don't know if you know that little part of the world, but it's pretty much green paradise. And you know what? Because you're here, I really want you to know that growing your business, you don't need to sacrifice your health. I know there's so many of us that have, and myself included, had the burnout, the exhaustion, but we don't have to do that anymore. If we want to have a successful business, have a lifestyle, to grow a highly profitable business, it is possible. And I used to have that unfortunate time where I was not taking holidays, at worst, I wasn't paying myself, literally paying my staff even actually more than I was getting, working late nights, working every weekend, scared to delegate tasks, even frightened to hire a team at some point. I was just absolutely frozen of, how am I going to grow this business when I just don't know how to manage what I'm already doing? And I'm here to show you an easy way, a sustainable and a simple way and a successful way that is greatly more fulfilling to have a business in our economy today, as we don't have to be doing more hours and looking after more clients, because that doesn't actually equal more profit. So what we're going to learn today is the 5-step psychology-based sales framework that builds trust and helps clients. And this is based on when I studied the power of sales through psychology. And we'll go deep in this tonight. That's what's really, I've never gone this deep. How to master the gap phase. And you're going to understand the gap phase in the sales system, which is an educational sales system, and uncover what your clients' needs, wants and desires are, the exact timing and language to recommend products and treatments without sounding salesy or pushy, and the power of a savvy sales process without feeling awkward or salesy. But just let me be clear. I don't want to be fluffy about anything. This is not going to be one of those sales pitch trainings because it's free. This is not how I roll. Instead, I'm here to deliver a real transformation, outcomes and tangible strategies that work, so you can take away and put into place. So please just don't make this another training where you come away, take lots of notes and go, wow, I learned so much. Love that training, but yet you don't implement anything. Please, all you need to do is just put something into action, and it can change 1% of how you show up, 1% of your revenue, and 1% of your clients getting results. So just take one intention or action step from tonight and put it into action, at least by tomorrow, because action makers are money makers. And this is for you if you feel stuck, struggling, or stagnant, even stressed. It's hard not to be stressed when you're a business owner and running your own show, but yet we can reduce that when it comes to consultations and having a savvy sales process. If you want a business to grow, but without the exhaustion and all the extra hours, you crave more certainty, confidence, clarity, and consistency in cash flow, or you want clients to feel connected to you, know, and trust you. Because what we find is things have changed from even 5 years ago. Haven't you noticed? I don't know about you all, because from diagnostic imaging, which is massive now, there's so many options with having diagnostic imaging, and we don't need to do that. But I'm just saying things have changed from 5 years ago. How we do consultation now was very different even 10 years ago. So from imaging to gut health led questions, consultations today go way deeper. And if there's one thing we can agree on, it's this, and I hope you agree. A consultation is not just a checkbox. I've been in consultations where it just feels so impersonal. It's tick, tick, tick. Yes, there is things to tick, but there's no actual integration. How is this relative to me? How is this relevant to me? And a consultation is the beginning. It's a chance to understand the person behind the skin. It's an opportunity for us as professionals to ask the deeper questions, to go deep. When I started my business 30 years ago from scratch, literally zero, I had no clients, no contacts. I just moved from Perth to Sydney, setting up in one of the most competitive areas in the eastern suburbs. And most people said to me, oh my goodness, that is the toughest way to start a business. Yeah, I agree. But within 2 years, I built a multi-six-figure business, and only at 25 years old. How? Because I had a vision bigger than my treatments alone. And if you relate to this, sometimes you have these visions and you just, how am I going to actually put this into practice? And the thing is, I just knew I could, because my vision was bigger than my treatments alone. And I wanted to transform the client experience to create raving fans who felt seen, heard, safe, and guided. And they wanted the results. And I knew I could deliver them the results they needed, wanted, and desired. And that's what I realized. I wasn't in the skin business. I soon realized I was in the relationship business. My business grew to consistent 10K weeks because I built it on connection, trust, and rapport. And that's what's truly transformed my clients' skin and lives, not the other way around. I hope that really lands for you, from understanding your client's deepest needs, wants, and desires. Because when I created that kind of connection, clients said yes to me more often. They rebooked with me without hesitation. They purchased from me for years to come. They still come to me actually when I'm working 2 weeks hands-on. They refer their family and friends, and they come to you for advice, and only you. And that's exactly what I'm teaching today inside the Confident Consultations. And just to introduce myself to those that are new to me, I'm Naomi. I'm the founder of Beauty Business Evolution Coaching, which is a multi-award-winning clinician, 30 years of sales owner and an educator. I'm a presenter, yoga teacher, and a beauty business coach. I've probably done over 26,000, even up to 30,000 facial and skin treatments over my 33 years. I've won 4 national industry awards, and being a business and mindset coach since 2001 with my team way back then was just innovative. I realized and recognized the power of having mentorship to people that really wanted to grow in their confidence and how to reach their clients and how to convert conversations into not only a sale, that's not what we're here for, but a long-term relationship. And I've created a proven business framework that grows and scales your business to consistent 10K weeks for skin and salon owners and professionals just like you. So even if you're starting out, growing or scaling, this is for you. I just want you to just have a moment and see if you can relate to this particular client. So her name's Ruby, but before I dive in to the 5-step framework, I want to introduce you to someone that I feel that you probably all can relate to. She's a salon and clinic owner, and I see this in so many of the people I work with because unfortunately, what happens with Ruby, she's incredible with treatments. That's not the unfortunate part, but she hesitates to recommend home care for the fear of sounding pushy. She's a true expert. She's very knowledgeable and caring. Does this resonate? But when it comes to consultations, she loses her words. Sometimes she fears, I can't say that, second guesses herself, doubts herself, and often doesn't actually suggest anything because she feels like she's saying too much. Often when you're leaving these gaps out in your conversations, your appointment system will look the same, and this means your income is unpredictable. On top of that, this particular woman, Ruby, who I don't know if you can relate to, she's juggling treatments, marketing, admin, leaving her exhausted. And while she earns a comfortable income most weeks, but not always, that's the thing. She avoids tracking revenue, so she's disconnected from what's really working in her business. Does anyone relate here? I'd love to know. And this is exactly why I created the Confident Consultations framework, to give you the structure, the timing, the psychology that makes client conversations feel natural, confident, and consistent. Just check the chat because I think there's a few things here. Yeah, so it says I'm juggling dinner. Okay, so where are you right now? This is what I really like you to hone in on, so you can really have a magnifying glass on exactly what is going on right now in your business, in your psychology, in your consultation process. So below, write red if everything's chaotic. You need help. You're doing it all. Consultations are rushed or skipped or sometimes not even done, not even recognized. Marketing is inconsistent, there's no systems, and an unpredictable income. So red if you relate to that. Yellow if you've got some structure but not solid, some repeat clients but no real growth. Rebookings and retail are hit and miss. You've tried systems but they just don't stick, like you just not sure, you don't follow them, you don't do them, you just rather do old school. You feel pulled in all directions. So that's yellow. And green, if you've got momentum and it's working, you've got a confident consultation system and you'll use it. That's the point, that you use it too. Clients rebook and buy with you with ease, and your signature offer and growth strategy. Love to know what's happening here. So drop your color in below. If you have more yeses in one area than the other, you might not relate to every section of that section, but when you have more yeses in one section, which color are you? Just so I can understand where you're at, that'd be amazing. Yellow is Fiona. Yeah, great. Okay, that sounds good. So you might want to take a screenshot of this and recognize it later and really think about where you're at. And actually you can screenshot it and share it on socials and tag me at my Instagram handle at Beauty Business Evolution. I love to see what people are learning, and it goes to show your other industry professionals what you're up to too with all your learnings. It inspires others, I really believe. So let's now look at why consultations matter, because this is your greatest sales tool and it can be learnt and mastered. This was my pathway through. And why this is a non-negotiable, because it's the foundation of your business success. So here are the 5 proven reasons why consultations matter to every skin or beauty professional. We all need a consultation process. Number 1, accurate skin analysis and diagnosis. Even if you're not treating skin, if you're in another industry, service industry, in the industry, whether you're a laser technician, an injectable nurse, a lash specialist, a brow tattooist, cosmetic tattooist, there's a myriad of things. Even if you're not diagnosing skin, accurate analysis and diagnosis is crucial. So there's no guessing, you understand exactly what your client needs. The second biggest reason why consultations matter is personalized treatment plans. We don't want cookie cutting. That's just so unpersonalized. Clients want real visible results, and they want to hear what is real for them. How can you personalize their treatment plan, their home care plan? The third biggest reason why consultations matter is progress, tracking, and results. You can't manage what you don't measure. And I always say that what you measure, you can manage. So this goes for everything in our business, but particularly when you have a well-documented system with your consultation process. And this creates so much trust and proof. You can go back in time and time lapse exactly when they last came in, or how many years ago, or what you did last time, what they purchased, what they were going through, whether it was emotional, personal, or physical. Just all of this measuring is so important to get the client trusting you and understanding where they're at. Client safety and best practice is another reason why consultation matters. This protects both you and the client. It's your professional standard. And number 5 is trust, loyalty, and long-term clients. When clients feel understood, they rebook, refer, and invest with you. So hopefully that gives you a big framework of why consultations are really important, why it's a non-negotiable part of your business, and how it can be learned and mastered following the system. Because this is an industry wake-up call. Look, this is where I get a little bit more firm with what we need to be doing, because competition is at an all-time high. I never used to see our industry as competition. I used to really feel we are a community. Definitely we're a community, and I love community. But we are all tending to reach for the same clients. So that's why competition is at an all-time high. Clients are more educated than ever before. And here's the real raw truth. Basic before and afters and the cookie cutting content doesn't cut it anymore. So many of us are delivering incredible results, yet your revenue and income doesn't reflect it. Why? Because you or your team feel uncomfortable with sales. But let me be crystal clear. Sales is service. Not recommending is a disservice. And it's not just about lost revenue. When I knew this and understood what I'm about to say, the biggest loss is to your clients. Because when you don't recommend what they truly need, they miss out on the results they desire, and they feel very unsupported. And they will go searching for the next professional who will guide them with confidence. For me, I don't know about you, but that was a hard pill to swallow, knowing that, oh my God, it's the biggest loss for my clients, because I care deeply about my clients. And knowing a client has left because you weren't skilled, but because your consultation or your sales process didn't build enough trust, it really is upsetting. And I hope that really lands for you and you really feel that, because we need to turn this around and understand that selling is serving and serving is selling. Your clients don't know what you know. They come to you as the expert to be guided, led, cared for. They want to understand what they need. And when you hold back, everyone loses. So how are you going with this so far? Is there any questions? Which part of the wake-up call feels most real for you? Was it the rebookings, the retail, or the consultation? Or that we all lose? Your business loses if you don't make suggestions. You lose as a professional because your client is going somewhere else. And your client loses because they're not getting the results from you, and that's what they come to you for. So what is the one challenge you've faced in your consultation you would like to overcome? I'd really love to know that. Just have a deep dive into where are you sitting at the moment with your consultation? Is it, I don't know how long they should go for? Do I charge for them? How many questions do I ask them? What sort of questions do I ask them? I don't know. There's a myriad of things that could be challenging you at the moment. And where are you at with this? And what specifically would you like to overcome? I'll just give you a moment to write that in the chat. I'll have a look. Yeah, that's great, Casey. So clients, you take photos. Clients can see their progress. Not every treatment and home care clients love seeing visible results over the months. Absolutely they do. And the more that we can show them proof, the more evidence that we are the expert and we are giving them what they need. Giving realistic advice and expectations, as all skin is different and reacts differently. Absolutely. Yeah, you're spot on, Casey. It's being realistic. I love that, because what can happen there is you're meeting the expectations of what you can do, and what they can receive. And I really believe in transparency, honesty, and really showing up as the leader saying, this is where you are now, and this is where you want to be, and this is what I can do for you. I'll go into this much deeper a little bit into the training. So the interesting wake-up call continues. This is a conversation that I really want to be very honest with you all about, talking about honesty. And this is business advice I would give you if I wasn't scared to show you how or what you need to do, because tiptoeing around your feelings isn't going to give you the results. And I really want to share the harsh truth about your salon and why it's still not profitable, because no other beauty coach will probably tell you this like this, but I'm going to. It's time to stop hiding behind a crowded treatment menu. Those menus, it's like going into a restaurant. You just can't choose. You just, what the heck? They specialize in everything. They offer everything, and it's just confusing. Or you go online, you go, wow, I just don't even understand what that facial is or what that skin treatment is or how many types of eyebrow shapes can I have? It's just overwhelming. And from there, if it is a crowded treatment menu, if you're still hoping clients just book, that's just not going to happen. A lot of the time, clients will just too much choice and they just don't actually commit, or they just can't make sense of what's available. That's not the solution to profitability. And waiting around online for bookings, that's not a growth strategy either. How many times have I heard people say, I'm just going to make my booking when I get home online? We have to stop that in its tracks. We need to be the leader. We need to guide our clients when they rebook in. We know the results they're going to get, because if we did the consultation well, we will show them exactly what they need to do, how often they need to come in, what product protocols they need to use, how often and how frequently. So we need to take charge of their next booking, not waiting for when they get home and then they stretch it out. So that's not a growth strategy either. So we have to stop trying to grow with 5 different treatments, even more, and random promos. Often one signature high-end treatment marketed extremely well, like strategically, will take you further than a jam-packed menu will ever. And we need to also stop undercharging and over-delivering. That's why we tend to be exhausted, underpaid, and still not hitting our income goals. This is a big one, and it's very dear to my heart because I've seen it too often. We need to stop thinking the next device, the next laser, or the next skin machine is the answer. I call this the shiny object syndrome. I've known multiple salon owners invest in a minimum of $22,000 and above for them to not even use the machine today even, and they bought it last year because they didn't market it well enough. They didn't know if their clients were going to use that HIFU machine or that RF machine. So they bought it before they marketed it, or before they even asked their clients, is that results that machine can deliver, are they interested in? And they left because clients weren't interested in that particular machine because they didn't know how that machine would convert to the results. They didn't understand how to make the results that machine could deliver into real marketing conversation. So they didn't have the conversation or conversion skills to turn them into a sale. Because without a real marketing strategy, it's just an expensive piece of equipment collecting dust in the corner. I've seen it too often. Also, we need to stop working harder on the wrong things. If your business was truly designed to grow, you wouldn't still be stuck in the same place. Stop posting content that doesn't solve your clients' real problems. Because if your message was clear, and I'm talking about your marketing message, it can be your one sentence message even. If that's very clear and bold and backed by a system, you'll never be seen as the expert you are. I know this is hard to take in, but I'd rather be completely honest with you all and transparent of what is working and what isn't working with your business. And if there's anything that you're relating to right here, I'd love to hear, because this all helps everyone. And when you start to reflect on what's not working, that's when you can actually be aware of, oh, I need to do it differently. I need to change something. So I want us to all say this with confidence, mentally or out loud. Every client I work with starts with a consultation. It is the foundation for trust, to share my expertise and to deliver real results. Feel free to take a screenshot of that, share it, keep it to yourself. just know that every client I work with starts with a consultation. It is the foundation for trust, to share my expertise and to deliver real results. So now we're going to dive into, it's very exciting, we're getting to the juicy part, the 5-step Savvy Sales System. This is where things start to make sense. So first of all, we do this extremely well, I believe, in our profession. We connect beautifully. Generally, women in the industry, we're nurturers. We know how to connect, but sometimes we are just a bit off with the connection. We're not just connecting, we want to build a magnetic connection. This is a rapport by being yourself, by showing up, being authentic, being present, being you. They buy your energy. Your clients feel you and they really want to work with you. Haven't you noticed that? Haven't you noticed when you're around someone particularly and they've just got such a good vibe and you just want to work with them, you just want to be with them, you want to hang out with them. Sometimes you become friends with them. And I don't know about you, but a lot of my clients that I'm really great friends with, we've just got this magnetic connection. I've even stayed in some of their homes. That's how much a rapport I build. There's so much trust. And if we get this step right, this makes the next step easier. And I just want to say these 5 steps need to be done strategically, but naturally. If you learn these, they just naturally roll into each other. So once you build that magnetic rapport, you're just being you're being authentic, transparent, just your energy is really high vibes, and you are really curious about that client and you're using active listening, you're very present, then you work out, are they your ideal client? Are they the right fit for your expertise, aligning with your priorities, values, and expectations? Because you best believe they will be doing the same for you. They will be questioning, is this particular business, salon, clinic, business, professional, are they the right fit for me? Do they align with me? Am I interested in what they have? So be aware that they'll be doing the same to you. So that's why connection and rapport is so important. The next biggest area that we have to identify is the gap. And I'm going to go into this much deeper a little bit later on. So once we identify the gap, and the gap is what's missing with their needs, wants, and desires. So they come in with a particular challenge, concern, problem, and then you establish where they need to go, how you can get them there, what are the results they want. Hopefully that makes sense. So once you establish, right, I identify this and this is how I can get you there, then you just invite them confidently. You suggest treatments in home care to support their goals and outcomes so you can get them the results they want, need, and desire. And then simply you ask the client, you get a commitment, you guide your client to take action, not in those words, but that is the next step. Whether it's just, let's make your next booking. Let's see how I can help you with this program. Can I put a program together for you? It's like a permission-based leadership that you're doing here, because saying yes to the solution that is truly right for your clients is the biggest thing you can get, because sales is an essential skill that can be learned. And if you do those 5 steps, build that magnetic rapport, you qualify, are they your ideal client? Do they fit what you can offer them? Identify where they are and where you can take them. Confidently suggest treatments and home care programs and ask for a commitment. You invite the client to book in with you. Tell me that is not a sale. That is just a natural conversation, because when done, there is no pushiness. You don't feel awkward. It's just, as I mentioned before, it's just permission-based leadership. You're leading the conversation, and that's when you know you're a leader, and that's when you know you've built magnetic rapport. When you are leading the conversation, that's when rapport is at its best. Any questions here? Because this is a part of my 10K work week method. I'd love to know. Just have a check. Yes, my clients are my social life. What I'd love to share there, Casey, is we can easily get caught in what I call social rapport. I'm not sure about you, and if you've got some questions later on, we can open up to having a conversation, taking off mute. If we get too caught in social rapport, we're going to get lost and not get to professional rapport. We need to learn how to switch off very quickly from social rapport into professional rapport. And the easiest way, and consciously, if you're not aware of this, but if now that I've pointed it out, you might be more aware of it. If you, of course, because our clients are just incredible people and we adore and love them and care about them, it's so easy to get caught up in social rapport. But the easiest way to jump out of social rapport is to go, so now that we're doing A, B, and C. So you just use the word, and then that jumps into professional rapport. I'm going to be doing this treatment onto you today. Otherwise, we won't get into confidently suggesting treatments and home care to support their outcomes. And this is where it can get too rushed at the end and we miss the opportunity to get a commitment. I don't know how that sounds, if anyone follows that. Yeah, let's have a look. I like to say to clients that only 20% of what I do in salon is going to be able to give them the 80% with home care. Great. You're all over it, Casey. And I only see them once a month. We are in the journey together. Beautiful. Love that. That's so important. So hopefully those 5 steps, take a screenshot and learn that, master it, because that is something that will convert your business. Let's now have a look at why clients say no. So remember, in the 5-step Savvy Sales system, the gap phase was the 3rd phase. This is generally why your clients will say no if we don't nail the gap phase. What is the gap phase? It's the space between where your clients are now and where they want to be. So they want that result. And often when we get a resistance, oh, I don't have the money, or it's not the right time. And yes, that is relative, that is valid, that can be very real for some people, but sometimes it's just an excuse or a reason not to commit. And if that's the case, there's ways to understand this and go a bit deeper. But generally, if it's not about time and money, we have to check in with ourselves, because sometimes it's about uncertainty. The client is uncertain about what you're actually offering, how you can help them. They might be uncertain about themselves because they might not trust their own decisions. So that's why we need to help guide our clients on a journey and show them exactly how we can help them. Sometimes it's a disconnection. They don't feel connected to what you're saying. They don't understand what you're saying. If we use too much complicated tech words, it's always important that clients understand what you're talking about, how you can help them. There might be unspoken doubt. They might feeling a bit strange about it all. And sometimes this is if you're in a hurry or the clients are not really feeling that you're present. They can feel unheard, misunderstood, and sometimes they're just unclear on what you actually are offering them. So it's really important to check in with yourself. When your clients say, I don't have the time or money, often that's not the case, because us women, we will find the time and money if it's a part of our value system and if it's a priority. You notice we're all consumers. When we purchase something, we have made a decision. That's what we want. If we're feeling a bit stretched on making a purchase decision, it could be a bit about money or could be a bit about time, but we will always find the time or the money if we value it. So this is the biggest thing. We need to share with the client the value we're offering them. And this is the key reminder, because sales happens in the gap phase, not at the reception when they're leaving. I've seen that so often. I've missed to share with you your home care program, or not when they're about to leave the treatment room with their handbag and coat in hand. That's not how it works. It's all about when we can get into the 3rd phase of the Savvy Sales system, which is the gap phase, because clients need to feel seen, safe. Very important that clients feel safe with you, heard, understood, and guided. This builds trust. We really need to get that clients come to you. They look up to you for your expertise and your knowledge because they want to be guided. And this is where the gap phase, really done well, can concretely, if there's such a word, cement in where trust is built and resistance is resolved. And time, money, trust, doubt, and uncertainty is dissolved. And long-term loyalty begins here in the gap phase, where you can show your clients where you can take them if you make them feel safe, seen, heard, understood, and you can guide them. So I want to show you now the power and the proof of Savvy Sales. This is where it gets really interesting, if it's not already. I'm about to show you 11 incredible industry icons, and I've just come out of the Beauty Expo, and there was about 4 industry icons I'm about to show you at the Beauty Expo this year, and I got to meet most of them. And you might be wondering why these people when you see their faces. Here's the thing. They're all specialists in different areas. They've all been in business for different lengths of time. They've all come from different locations, backgrounds, ages. They're men and women from all walks of life. All of those things are different. And none of them actually really understood the power of success, because the success comes from a multitude of things, but it only comes down to two things, because there's no secret to success. So what do they have in common, you might ask? We know what they don't have in common. They're all got that different. So they're all specialists in different fields. Their genders are different, backgrounds are different, the circumstances are different. They all come from different walks of life. They're specialists in different areas of the beauty field. And every single one of them are certain and confident in their consultation process. That's what they have in common, and they give their clients results. Absolutely congruent in giving their clients results. They understand that trust-building conversations and consultations are their most profitable sales tool, grounded in active listening and genuine connection. They all have a savvy sales process, and they especially understand the gap phase, where the clients feel seen, heard, safe, understood, and guided. So I really want you to really understand that they all have a savvy sales process. They understand that trust-building consultations is the most profitable sales tool, because their results spoke louder than any discount ever could. The first person is Maria Anakoch-Coloni. She just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Dr. Des Fernandez from Iron, Dr. Lance Phil, microneedling specialist, April Brody, integrative facialist, Melanie Grant, salon owner, entrepreneur, one and only Gay Wardle, educational specialist, Jeannie Burke, Venustus Paddington, Sydney, Fiona Tuck, Josselini Peteroni, Isabella Lonergan, and she's at West Car. Just want you to take all of these faces in. Now, similar to you all here and watching the replay, they're experts and specialists in their own right, as you are. But can you feel the certainty and the confidence they have? They all understand that the savvy sales process is leading their business profitability, sustainability, and success. And they understand the consultation process leads to trust. So the power and proof of savvy sales continues. These industry icons didn't build lasting brands on great treatments alone. They mastered conversations that convert into repeat sales. They understand that, number one, long-term brand equity. These icons didn't create quick wins. They built lasting reputations. Clients stay loyal for years because they feel trust and safety, not just because of great and good skin results. Number two, referrals and advocacy. When clients feel truly understood, they don't just buy, they become advocates, raving fans. They tell their friends, they tag you on socials, they become walking billboards of your brand. They invite their family and friends in. They understand that pricing is power, because they built trust through consultations. They weren't competing on price. Their results and relationships allowed them to raise their prices and still stay fully booked. Resilience in tough times. This is a big one, because discounts can't carry your business when the economy dips, but relationships do. The icons you just saw stayed profitable because clients kept choosing them, not because they were the cheapest option. And number five, the compounding effect. Every powerful conversation and consultation builds trust, and trust compounds. That's why their brand and brands are strong today. It wasn't because of one treatment. It was the hundreds of micro moments of connection stacked over years. And I relate to number five deeply, because it's the compounding effect of the stacking of the relationship that I created, this 10K week formula. That savvy sales process that you just saw, the 5 steps, that is a compounding effect of measuring what works in my business, and it works in every business. Which one do you relate to the most in these, the power and the proof? Is it long-term brand equity, referrals, your pricing, resilience in tough times, or the compounding effect? You know, they're all really potent and they all make sense. I wonder which one you all prefer. I'd love to hear. give you a moment to have a deep dive and write in the comments. So perfectly said. Thanks, Casey. Yeah, tip number 5. Oh, you're at the Beauty Expo too, Casey. Fantastic. Yes, Kay Wardle is next level. I did her full day conference recently. It was next level. So what we want to get down to now, some juicy insights of how we can turn this all around. Besides having the 5 steps, and you understand the 5 steps now, let's look at timing and language, because these 2 areas are critical to the result and the outcomes of clients saying yes to you more often. So plant the seeds earlier on, not at reception or when they're leaving your treatment room. I'm sure you know that, but I'm surprised how often this happens if we get too much into social rapport and then we go, oh my goodness, I haven't made the next booking. I haven't written your program out. I haven't done all of these things, and off they go. And it repeats and repeats. So this is what's really important, is we plant the seeds earlier on. And the high and the low points is where it's going to make a lot of sense. My first business coach way back in 2001, and thank goodness I believe in mentorship, because she said to me, what the heck are you doing to get this high revenue consistently? And I said, I actually don't know. I know I'm really good with people. I build rapport. I build so much trust. And I'm excited to see them again. And I book them in and I write out a home care program. And she said, yeah, that's wonderful. But what are you actually doing it? When are you doing it? So this is why it's so important to review what's working in your business. And I discovered the high and the low points. There's about 8 high points, or what I call touch points, to be clear. 8 touch points when a client actually goes through a whole process with you. When they enter the clinic or the salon, they open the front door. There's a touch point 1 when they sit in reception, coming through your treatment room, sitting on your treatment table, going through a treatment, midpoint of the treatment, the end of the treatment, the conversation at the end of the treatment, getting off your treatment table, once the client gets ready, and payment, and they leave. Now, in those 8 touch points, there's 4 of those touch points when the client is more receptive to say yes to you. I wonder if this is what I discovered by measuring what I was actually doing to get the revenue and the rebookings I was receiving. And many of my coaching clients that you'll see a bit later on will confirm this, what they're getting as well. So generally what happens in the consultation, we gather information, we can just drop a little seed then. This is how I can help you. I'll look forward to showing you how I can help you. Midway through a treatment, that's where we can actually offer the opportunity to say, wow, this is what I see working. Actually, I would like to show you how you can improve your skin or whatever you're working on to give you the best outcome. So midway through, and also right at the beginning, I'll just reverse a bit now. Right at the beginning, when you're touching, feeling, seeing the complexion, that is the highest point. You're going to get the most yeses and the client being receptive to you most likely right at the beginning. So when you touch, feel, see their skin, and you can actually prescribe then. A low point is when they're entering the clinic, there's a lot going on for someone when they leave their life behind to come and see you, when they're leaving, and when they're paying. We do not get a yes at that point. They're just checked out and they're ready to go. We need to use curiosity questions. How are you finding your skin at home? These are simple, but they're very important to understand where your client is at, linking the product and the treatment back to their goals. Because if you get the correct understanding of where they're at, you can link and use that information, thread it back to their goals. Normalize recommendations as standard care. So this is really important. That is just a standard procedure, right? Normalizing a recommendation, using soft, empowering language. Something like, what I'd suggest for you is, what would be really beneficial for you? I would love for you to start using this. This is so important for you. These sort of soft, empowering language is really going to get your clients on board with you. Hopefully that's helpful. And that the high point really opened up your awareness to when your client is the most receptive to say yes to you and the most receptive to hear what you've got to say. Any feedback on that? Great, that's all good. So what I'm actually saying here is, don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you feel ready to recommend retail post content or raise your prices, because what I have learned is ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And the only way to build confidence is through action. Practice makes progress, and progress makes permanent. Because honestly, if I was waiting to have a feeling of I was ready, I wouldn't have started my business. I started my business from zero, if you remember me saying that in the beginning. Seriously, I knew no one. It's just having the confidence to say, I can do this, I want to do this, have your vision in mind, and go forward from that. Because you can't wait until you feel ready. You actually just have to take action. That is the biggest thing here. Action makers are money makers. That's huge. And when you take action, that's when you see things shift in your business financially. So why clients say yes to you? It's a big thing, right? Clients buy you. It's not because of logic. It drives emotion. And emotion drives action. They buy because of how you make them feel. Therefore, how we show up with the enthusiasm, the confidence, the certainty in your energy all drives the decision of your client. And this is the exciting part. I love this part of my Savvy Sales system. We're going to look at the 3 emotional triggers behind every yes. I really want you to take this in. The 3 emotional triggers behind every yes. We're all consumers, right? And we have all bought seeking relief. It's not physical pain, but I'm talking about emotional or mental. Psychologically, we can be in pain. And she will buy when she feels supported, if she feels like she's having a pain moment. And she'll say yes to relief if she's battling breakouts, redness, rosacea, pigmentation, aging, lines, her structural integrity. And it's affecting her more than her skin. She might be cancelling plans, voiding mirrors, and losing confidence. And your role isn't just to treat her, it's to ask the deeper questions, validate her experience, and offer a clear path forward. So if you're in a consultation and you see someone going, oh my God, or you with someone that says, I'm just so over this part of my skin, that is why she'll say yes to you if you can guide and lead her and give her a clear path forward. The second emotional trigger behind every yes is pleasure. She's preparing for a moment, a celebration, a special occasion, a reunion, a wedding, a holiday, an event, a birthday, whatever the occasion is. If she comes in and she's in that pleasure moment, that celebration moment, create something for her because she's excited, and validate that. Be excited for her. Create the picture, the result, and she'll say yes to the plan. The third emotional trigger behind her yes is desire. She is ready to elevate. She wants luxury and experience. It's not about the cost, the price, or the investment. She isn't searching for a discount. She is searching for the best. When you can confidently present the highest level treatment and products, she'll say yes because it matches who she's already believed she is, because she can. Do you feel that? If someone chooses to go business or first class, not only because they have the money, someone chooses economy, it doesn't matter if they don't have the money or it's just a choice. It's not a matter of money here I'm talking. It's a matter of choice. Yes, money can help you have a better flying experience, but that's all it is. We choose one or the other and we end up in the same location, the same destination, but one is more luxurious and one is more ordinary. So if you know she wants an elevated experience, do not close her wallet. She's not looking for a discount. She just wants to match who she already believes she is. I hope this really opens you up to understanding why we buy and why the yes you will receive if you can understand the 3 buying decisions. You might want to screenshot that. So this is why the skin and beauty industry is shifting. How to articulate the yes in a consultation. Number 1, I mentioned. Connect to the pain, the relief that she wants. Validate her. Ask questions that go beyond the skin. How is this affecting your day-to-day confidence? What would you change if this was cleared for you or you got the result? Second point is paint the pleasure moment for her. Anchor her vision. You mentioned your daughter's wedding. Let's map it out. You mentioned you'd like a glow up. You're going for a photo shoot. Let's create the perfect, beautiful, glowing skin and feeling that you want to create. Or she's after luxury. You want elevate that desire that she's wanting. Position premium aligned, not based on expense. This is a treatment, your most advanced option. It's designed for women who want the best results and a full experience. Because when you know which emotional driver your client is feeling, you can guide the conversation with confidence. You're not selling, you're simply helping her step into the outcome she already wants. Because you know what? If you're not getting this already and you don't understand it at this point, I'm going to say it out loud. Sales is service. Your clients don't know what you know. If you don't recommend what they truly want, need, and desire, they may never get the results they desire. Your products and treatments are just inactive until they've got your expertise, your knowledge, your experience, and your hands doing the treatment. And those products are only activated when they know exactly how to be used and when to used. And to put this into actual real talk, when I was at the beauty expo, I was going up the escalators and there was a few of them, and I was speaking to a distributor and he was selling a laser machine. And we started talking about sales. And I said, part of my coaching is that I teach and train, educate beauty professionals about the power of sales. And I said to him, what is the average cost of your laser machine? I was shocked. I thought it was going to say 60K, but he said, my average machine starts at 120. I was like, wow. So I then said, tell me that your salon owners, clinic owners know how to sell treatments to get a return on investment. And he said, no, a lot of the time they don't know. So I was actually shocked. And he didn't provide any sales training. He just obviously provided the education. So let that sink in. So if it doesn't matter if you invest in 5 to 120K in equipment, if you can't market it strategically, lead a powerful conversation, inspire your clients to say yes to buy from you, you'll never get the return of investment. This is why consultation training is no longer optional. It's essential. I just can't say it enough. Because what I've discovered is you don't need more overwhelm. You need a clear strategy and particularly a sales strategy, smart systems, and aligned support. I don't know if you agree with that. How are we all going with this? Is it a shock to know that if you cannot clearly have a strategic system and have smart systems and actually have support to put it together, this can actually be the undoing of your business? This is your next step towards a simplified, sustainable, and successful business where your clients say yes with confidence and sales feel natural and abundant. Let's grow brands that don't burn out and have more breakthroughs. Wouldn't you like to see that? And you could be a part of it, because I really want to show you, if that's okay, what is possible if you have a powerful system in place. The successful salon success method is the next step. Inside my coaching, we implement 4 powerful systems. Your client strategy, because this is really important. If you are not constantly attracting new clients and then you attract them and you can't then retain them, that's really a problem. So what you'll learn in the salon success method is how to continually attract new clients, nurture them, but also retain them. There's often not a retention system inside people's businesses. They're always looking for new clients. Where are my new clients? Where are they? Why am I so quiet? I'm so worried about this week. Living from week to week, month to month isn't a business strategy. We need to learn how to retain our current clients, nurture them. And in the nurture phase is the transformation, which includes the consultation and the result phase. Your no-brainer signature treatment or treatments, where you share how much value you're giving your clients. Often we find this difficult to articulate how we can actually transform our clients to the ideal outcomes they're looking for. So you'll learn this so well. You'll have personalized, confident consultation process. As you could see, the 5-step savvy sales system, the 3 emotional triggers of why clients will say yes to you, and the high and the low points. Look, that was just skimming over the edges. If we go deep into this, you possibly can triple your revenue. And most of my clients will double their revenue and get 80 to 95 booked out schedules. The greatest one is being organized and have systems and structures in place for ease and flow so you can concentrate on the profit-making tasks, and then have the savvy sales system implemented so you can plan, promote, and create more profit and partnerships into your community. Because if you have more partnerships in your community, you can learn to collaborate. You can learn to build deeper relationships with your clients. You can go into the community and offer and ask how you can help. So this builds your business brand at a greater level. Plus, I create a 6-week tailored business blueprint to grow with clarity. And this is the exact formula that helped me rebook over 80% of my clients and create raving fans and hit 10K weeks consistently. And that all happened in 2 years when I was at scratch. And it didn't happen by accident, it was a breakthrough. And here are a few of my client wins. Jess Nash, my gosh, she doubled her sales in 60 days. She was a 6K salon owner and went to 12Ks when she completed my 3-month program. She's in tears, burnt out, exhausted, about to shut her business down. She was over it. And I believed in her after our first call. I knew she had something special and it transformed. And now she's making even double and has 3 therapists. Beautiful Lisa Rush, injectable nurse. She was so stuck. Chaos, back end was a circus, didn't know how to run a team. I totally related to her because I was there 20 years ago and she is flying. Christina recently just increased her sales by 28% within 2 months. Gabby Blessing, a cosmetic tattooist, my goodness, she was one of those women that highly creative, but just no structures, no systems, didn't know even how to create a consultation process, and went from calm to in control and tripling her revenue very quickly. Joyce Piper, oh my gosh, she was amazing. She was scared, petrified of consultations, and she went to being fully booked, even running workshops by mastering the power of consultation. And my beautiful client went from a 38K salon owner to 57Ks in 3 months. Now, that is powerful. She learned how to run a business and not the business running her. They're just a few of the wins. Now, if these reviews inspire you from Lisa, Gabby, Joyce, Jess, my RI client who went from 38 to 57 Ks, even Christina, and many more, there are so many more. The major thing they have in common, they all started with booking a call and led them to making tweaks, changes, and decisions that ultimately changed the course of their entire business and life. Because this is life-changing. When you have income that is doubled, tripled, it is truly life-changing. This is your opportunity to stop feeling unsure, stuck, second-guessing yourself, being overwhelmed, and often feeling alone in your business. How often do we feel isolated? And start scaling, growing your business with clarity and ease. Feel free to scan this code because I only have 10 spots available, and first in, first served. Go ahead and scan that if you'd love to have a call with me, because this masterclass is just the beginning. If you want to become a true expert in turning consultations into sales, it really does take deeper support. And maybe you hear clients say this. Do you hear clients say this? I'll do it next time. I don't have the money. I need to think about it. I already have so many products at home. I don't have the time to do that. It gets a bit wearing. And these aren't rejections. I see these as opportunities to turn conversations around to clients to saying yes to you. And I can show you how to handle them with integrity, ease, and confidence. If you want my help doubling, even tripling your revenue, like my clients that I just showed you, building a business model that actually works and gives you the energy back, if you'd like me to help you bridge those gaps, all you need to do is book a call so we can explore if I can support you. And if I can, and we're a good match, I'll just gently ask, would you like to take the next step? So feel free to book your Salon Success assessment call here. As I mentioned, there's only 10 available. I've only got limited time, and you can claim yours now. Or Jess can drop the link in the chat if it's easier to just click a link code. That might be easier for you all. Because, the next step is really exciting, because if you choose this, in our call together, I'm going to do 3 things. We're going to audit your consultation process. Has anyone ever done that for you? Actually go through what you do step by step, so you have a clear strategy. And that clear strategy is the Salon Success process, proven process. We'll take a look at your ideal client, because you might be looking at it after a lot of clients that aren't your ideal client, and we can really fine tune who your ideal client is. We're not just talking about age, gender, career, really aligning what their values are to what you can offer, plus more. We're going to look at your signature treatments and your strategy to see what's possible. Not only what's possible for your business, but in terms of your clients, your revenue, your growth, all within your business ability. So it's highly personalized. We're going to take a deeper look into your business to see the number one thing that's holding you back from growing, because generally, for most of us, when this is tapped, it keeps us stuck. So it's going to take you to the next level when we unravel what is the number one thing holding you back. And there's generally one thing. And that one thing, when uncovered, actually allows your business to grow. And thirdly, we'll start to map out a 3-step custom business plan for you to get to 10K plus weeks in 2025. So just a gentle invite. If you'd like to chat with me personally, I have, as I mentioned, only 10 spots available. And this call will just tell me if I can help you and how I can help you. And if I feel I can and we're aligned, then I will just invite you to take the next step. So feel free to make that decision, and it can literally, that call can change how you see your business. To have all of those steps set up in your call, it's a no pressure call, because you're going to have a whole consultation process audit. Like, that in itself is valuable. And look at the number one thing holding you back. That's incredible. And mapping out a custom plan for your business growth, invaluable. So thank you so much, everyone, with absolute gratitude. I would love to know if there's any questions, and let's have a look. Someone got obsessed with a particular laser in the expo. That's fantastic. Thank you, Casey. That's exciting. I look forward to talking with you. That's great. So is there any questions at all? We covered so much. How are we all going? What is your greatest takeaway from today? Number one, I'll give you a moment to think about that. And what is it that you're going to implement straight away? Is there anything that you'll be implementing straight away into your business tomorrow, next week, so you allow your business to go to the next level? Love to know. We can open it up to have a conversation. Any feedback on that? You're gorgeous. Thank you. Takeaways from the meeting. I love this 5-step. Yes. Identify which of the 5 benefits of the consultation you most relate to implement. Review the high and low points in your consultation process. Identify opportunities to plant seeds early on. Yes. Fabulous. I love that. I may need to define my consultation, and when to seek to my client or speak to my client, I will implement recommendations to clients at the start of treatments and not at the end. Yes, I love that takeaway, Casey. And sell, yes, absolutely. Did you love seeing the 11 industry icons? Because that's proof, not just my proof of what works for me and my testimonials that I shared, but industry leaders that are doing it all day, every day, easily and effortlessly. It's just like having a cup of tea. I have a liking to say this. It's almost like when you go to a restaurant and you're sitting down and the waits person just says, "Would you like tea? Would you like a drink? Would you like a coffee? Would you like bread with that?" They're not worried if you're going to say no. They just offer, they just ask. So let's be really clear here that we're here to offer and make a suggestion. The difference is that we have to do it at the right time with the energy and the confidence and the certainty, and show up as a leader and an expert. So hopefully this is all landed for tonight and today, and for you watching the replay. And I can see the booking link here. If you'd like to make that call, that would be amazing. I'd love to talk to you, just to even get an insight of where you're at in business, to have those 3 things locked into your business. That would be phenomenal. Is there any more questions? Any more takeaways? I can see some of the questions were that I never knew how to run a business. I was never taught to run a business. That is not uncommon. We're amazing at our treatments. We are highly skilled and trained at being an expert as a hands-on practitioner. But when it comes to business strategies, marketing, sales, that is something that needs to be learnt just as an expert as a skin or industry professional. It can be learnt and taught and mastered. And this is what I'm here for. And I'd love to have that conversation with all of you. So feel free to book that call. I can see the link there. That would be fabulous. Until next time, beauties, this has been amazing. Thank you dearly for showing up, and just have the best night. And I can't wait to speak to some of you that have booked that call. And until next time, may your business flourish and be successful always, particularly now that you've got some implementation to take away. You've got a 5-step savvy sales system. You understand the high and the low points, the 3 emotional triggers of how clients decide to buy and how they say yes to you, and all of the other information that we went through tonight. And thank you, Jess, for being our support gal. Until next time, beauties, keep well, keep safe, and have the best night. Bye for now.